So here we are with the DE filter. This is a 36 square foot filter. They're 18 inches long, the grids are. This one here has got some damage on it, and the danger in the damaged ones where they're crushed is pieces can come out through here, through the manifold, and get back into the return plumbing of the pool. So this one is marginal. It could possibly be used again. It doesn't have any tears, but it's got some damage. This one here is got some severe damage on it, down here as well. But more importantly, it's got some areas here where the fabric is severely damaged. So this grid will need to be replaced for sure. There have been some attempts I've made to patch these, which they don't work very well at all, just due to the fact that this is polypropylene and nothing likes to stick to it. So when you assemble a new one together, we went and got a new set. When we assemble a new one, the easiest way I've found in all the years I've done it is to set it upside down. You can set it over the skimmer opening or on a bucket. I've got a deck here, it's convenient. And so you've got the notches here, notches down here at the bottom. They can really only go one way because otherwise it would look like that, and that's ludicrous. So you just start putting them in. And now you give them a good firm punch down. And so I'm going to line them up, give it a good jab. Now they're all the same size except for one. And the one it won't go goes right here. You can see it's called the partial. These are full grids. So there's only one place the partial can go, and that's because a full grid can't go there. So I'm just going to keep going with my fulls. Line them up. And a good firm tap. Line them up. Firm tap. Here's my partial grid. It's just not quite as long as the others. It's shorter. It goes one spot. I mean, it can go in all of them, but pretty soon you'll realize that if you put it somewhere else, that you're going to have to put it there. Got one more to go right here. Put that in. You get the bottom. You're going to line it up. This has a cutout. You know that's got to be right here where the pipe goes once it goes into the tank. So that cutout has to go there. And the other key is when you line it up, if you will put this back about a ½ inch to 1 inch from the end, and that's more or less the proper location. Now you kind of have to wiggle it around a little bit, working between the spacers. And it just takes one of them in the wrong spot to make it difficult to get it down. So you just have to keep keeping them pushed down, work your way around, working them back and forth until you're down all the way. So now, put our washer and our nut. Some models have two, of the older ones have two rods that come up through either of these openings. On those, sometimes it's difficult because they'll want to turn on the other end, in which case usually I'll take my finger, I'll hook them through right here, and I'll hang on to the metal rod, and then I'll get them started. Once they're started, you can lay it down on its side and hang on to both ends as you tighten it down. So you want to choke it down pretty tight. Don't want anything to break. And usually I'll give it another good hammer down. The reason being is because when these things get really full of pressure, it can really shrink it down because you're talking about 30 pounds of pressure or 25 pounds of pressure. And then if this thing moves, then this nut's going to get loose. It's going to fall off over time, and then when you backwash, all the grids, this is going to come off and all the grids will just start popping out. So yeah, I can actually, just by doing that, I can get a couple more turns on this. And I think I'll do it one more time. Snug it up good. Give it another tightening down. Good and snug, and that's it. Now I'm ready to put this back in the filter. I guess we will walk it over to the filter real quick. Oftentimes there's an O-ring that goes here. I found that a lot of times it makes it impossible to get them apart if we use the O-ring. typically have very little trouble if you don't use the O-ring, so I tend to just leave it off. It's not the end of the world. I get a little tiny bit of blowback. It's a whole lot easier to take off. This is an air relief. A lot of times they start out as a nice beautiful dome, and I can straighten that out again, but it's going to end up like this anyway. And it's not, doesn't have any holes in it, so we're just going to leave it. Here's the guide and the O-ring. And I've got them both together. I cleaned them both already. And they're in place, and then we're going to put the lid on. We set the lid on. Make sure that the gauge is where we can see it, and also that the blowout of the water is not somewhere it's going to do damage, because like we don't want to position it like this in case the time clock's open and we blow water under the time clock or any other electrical place. So keep that in mind whenever you put your lid on. Get that spacer in right. Here's our clamp. And back, one side way back. Take the other side, back it off way back also. Take it all the way off. Okay. Space that out. Put it on. This is an older FNS model. It's all fiberglass. I believe the FNS stood for fiberglass new style, and that it was back in the day. So when I put this on, I want to make sure this little gap here and the one on the other side is about the same, just for starters. We take the small washer, it goes on, and the spacer, the spring. Make sure that washer's on there also, and tighten it down. If noise is a problem, I have in times past put a little lubricant in between these surfaces so that they don't squeal when you tighten it down. But that is often the case. Let's see, our drill is right here. I like to use a cordless drill on this. And give it a shot. Now I'm going to try, as I tighten it down, I'm going to keep this side and this side space the same. And then we're going to tighten it down till these springs touch each other. The surfaces touch each other. And then I'm going to take a hammer or other hammering device, seat these edges. And tighten it down again till they touch. And my drill battery's a little tired. And that's pretty good. And we're done. We're ready to start it up. That's the way you do it.